Chelsea, world champions. World champions, man. Told you lot last week. Told you lot last week that these lot are starting to cook. And what was it? What was I told? They ain't played no one yet. It's too early. It's this, it's that. They just completed the set, mate. Set completed. And this ain't about no banter and all of that stuff, yeah? Let's have it right. Enzo Maresca, hats off to you. The adaptability that he showed to tactically outdo Luis Enrique and PSG like that, nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw that coming. That was real coaching, what we just witnessed there in the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Real coaching. Cole Palmer. Joy to watch. Pleasure to watch. 2 goals and an assist. Could have had a hat-trick quite easily. Top draw. João Pedro. Casually rocking up late to the tournament. 3 goals in 3 games. 3 goals in 3 games. 55 million. Looks like a steal. Enzo Fernandez. At it. Pedro. Selfless. Who else? Who else was top? Cucurella. Exceptional. Trevor Chalobah. Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez, the saves he was making. He was even trying Cruyff turns in the last minute. These guys got João Neves sent off. PSG losing their heads. Bewildered. They didn't know what to do. Absolutely dominated from minute 1. Chelsea game plan absolutely destroyed PSG. And they're champions of the world. Chelsea have completed the set. That's what they've done. And you know what? In Enzo Maresca's system, you have to rate it. Because I saw players playing, and I mean like single players playing. I don't mean the variety. Single players having to play 6, 8, 9, 10. Neto, left wing back out of possession for a back 5, sometimes a back 6. Trevor Chalobah closing down space into central midfield because he was the spare one because you got Neto back at left wing back. You had Reece James doing a number on Vitinha, especially in the first half. Game was already won in the second half, so they just consolidated. You had João Pedro just holding the ball up, immense. Fantastic finish from him. They just made PSG have taken the piss out of the Premier League. They've destroyed Man City. They've destroyed Arsenal. I say destroyed, but they beat Arsenal. They beat Villa. They beat Liverpool. Chelsea said nah. Enzo Maresca said nah. And all the plaudits will go to Cole Palmer, and I hear that. He'll be player of the match, and rightly so. But we can't underestimate what Enzo Maresca's doing. And listen, I know people could say it's early and wait to the Prem and all of this stuff. Where we'll talk about that in a second. But what was labelled at him, right, when he first got there, and I'm included in this, by the way, I thought it'd be done by Christmas. He'd be out by Christmas. He's got Leicester promoted, but what does he know about the Prem? All these players, he's probably just going to be another yes man in there. And he's not. He's methodical, he's adaptable, and being able to get all of them players, right? It's one thing having the idea to say, we're going to go toe-to-toe with PSG. What do you mean, boss? What do you mean, boss? They're the best in the world. They just destroyed Real Madrid. They beat Bayern. They destroyed Inter in the fight. They've beaten everyone. They are the pound-for-pound best team in the world. They press all over. What do you mean we're going to go toe-to-toe with them, boss? To convince them, to have the idea is one thing, but to convince the players to do it and pull it off like that to a T. Substitutions, the substitutes that came on the pitch, the substitutes that were on the bench, all rallying behind the team, and all the players that made it happen. To do that in that space of time is commendable. A joke. Let's be honest. And this is why I said about Chelsea, guys. I learnt my lesson. I tried to tell you lot this. Chelsea are starting to cook. It's not too early to say it. With this is expectation, by the way. I'll get to that. With this is expectation for money spent and how they're playing and, a good feeling going into the new season. We'll get to that. But you have to give them credit. You do. No caveats. Yes, they've spent £2 billion, whatever it is they've spent on the squad. But this is a club that basically had to just completely reset, change ownership, make mistakes. They've started using a model that we've never seen before. So all we do is custom model. And they're potentially going to run into some problems down the line. Of course, nobody knows. But all we can do go off of the evidence we've seen. I seen Jamie Carragher cussing. What is there to join there? Why are players going to want to go there? What are you part of? What are they going to be part of? Champions of the world, mate. A club that's going, last time I just checked, look like they're about to start going in the right direction. Young, hungry players, all willing to prove a point, with more importantly, the right coach. There's going to be players that are unhappy that they're not playing. Of course. Nicholas Jackson didn't get a kick. Probably will get sold. Madueke on his way out, 50 million. They don't care. Loads of unused players. So there's a lot to manage for Chelsea, but you have to, for what they've done in that short space of time, to go from blue £1 billion bottle jobs, right, to securing Champions League, winning the Conference League, and winning the Club World Cup, and then to put in that performance on the biggest stage of all, when everybody said that they ain't played no one, that they're playing these clapped out Brazilian teams, playing Thiago Silva, who's 40 and that, where they just played prime PSG, who are everybody's favourites. So how are you going to move the goalpost now after that performance? You can't. All you can do is give respect to the players, the coach and staff, and the manager. Do you give credit to Todd Bowley and Clear Lake and stuff? People will be reluctant to, but they've built a team. They've sold players. They've been creative in how they've done it. Sold hotels, sold women's teams. They've done unimaginable things. But when it's all said and done, it's transferring into success on the pitch. You can only win. Listen, the Chelsea story ain't written yet. You can only win what's in front of you. And I think Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City will be looking at Chelsea with side eye. And that brings me into the next bit. Chelsea needs to be challenging next year. On paper, they need a good goalkeeper and they need a centre-back. Sanchez had an absolute stormer today. Even he that's how you know football's a weird game. Even he was outstanding today. He did one stupid thing near the end. Even he was outstanding today. But you can't get it twisted. Game in, game out, 38 games in the Prem. When you're playing against the other big boys, you know what I'm saying, over a course of a season, plus going deeper in the Champions League, you're going to need a better goalkeeper. Centre-backs, I still think they need an elite centre-back. But Trevor Chalobah, my man was on loan at Palace because they were treating him bad at the beginning of the season. He's come back, he just won the Club World Cup. Gusto, solid. Cucurella, unreal. Levi Colwill, showing promise. You know what I'm saying? So every single one of them players were selfless today. They worked their backsides off. They trust in the manager. And they won the Club World Cup, mate. Can't talk to Chelsea. Cole Palmer, different gear. Different gravy, mate. So I leave you with this. I told you lot that Chelsea is starting to cook. Let's see. Let's see. But no one can say nothing after that. They destroyed it. PSG didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do. That's never happened to them before. So you got to big up Chelsea and Enzo Maresca for that. Shout out Cole Palmer. Pleasure to watch him play football, mate. Scary hours next season for Chelsea. Scary hours. Laters, people. Smash a like on the video. Let me know what you're thinking, Chelsea fans. Let me know what you're thinking, neutrals. I need to hear from you lot. Peace.